Hi there guys, Sam here. You join me in my Mark 7 Golf R for another video. And this one is around maintaining my full VW main dealer history. And it's kind of come off the back of the last video. And thank you so much for all the comments in that one, actually. It really, really helps. Yeah, just sort of piece things together in my kind of head. So for those not familiar, I've had this car for the last 9 years and I've maintained a full VW service history with it, my Golf R. And I was sort of like, I was thinking about like giving it a little bit of an uplift, a bit of a restoration, and potentially with things like the headlights, getting a little bit of a restore to clean it up. Perhaps like the steering wheel or the gear stickers, yeah, might need a little bit of work. Steering wheel perhaps might just a little bit of a refresh perhaps, and maybe the wheels. And actually, I probably underestimate where my channel was back in 2017, where, I mean, I still can't believe people, you know, offer so much like help and support around it. I love the community as part of it. Yeah, from now being in August 2026, it's pretty sensational actually, so thank you for that. But I certainly underestimate the fact that I have, well, 12,600 subscribers on YouTube, and, you know, you can get sort of like, I think that one, it was about sort of 60 comments or something. So it's a lot to go through. There's one Sam and there's lots of you guys, but I do read them all. I do take my time with them, which, you know, is, yeah, it takes some time. And actually all the support and stuff was great. And actually, I don't think I saw one person say, oh yeah, Sam, it's time to sort of move on from the car because of all this work and stuff. And that's exactly how I'm feeling. And I love its uniqueness, because of the fact that it's got full VW service history as well, and I've looked after it so well. Now, why am I going to maintain it? Why am I going to keep that going? Because there's perhaps a lot of skepticism around sort of dealers, you know, labour rates, man hours on it is something which, yeah, that's a thing. It will charge more. An hourly rate at a main dealer can be more than, say, like an independent or a specialist. The thing that I've kind of found is actually the difference isn't perhaps as big as you may think in certain aspects. Because ultimately, if you have an oil and filter service, for example, it's an oil and filter service. You know, that's the cost of that, and the time of that is the same across the board, really. And actually, from someone like a Volkswagen dealer, in which they have more traffic coming through, they're actually probably able to offset their costs a little bit differently to, say, like a specialist who's perhaps a little bit different types of processes, maybe have a little bit more personal care and touch, which is great, but they've still got bills to pay. They've still got stuff to do. And actually there was one specialist that reached out a subscriber mentioned, Chapman's in St Albans, which is close to me. And I thought about it, and I think they could be great. I don't know anything about them. I never even knew they kind of existed. And actually, what I've often done with my car, my Golf R, is I've maintained the main dealer service history. So I've always done like the oil and filter services, Haldex service every 3 years. Mine's due one this year, which I'll discuss actually a bit about that now. Spark plugs, I've always done at a main dealer, and occasionally brake fluids and stuff. But when the big stuff has happened, like when I need the clutch getting done, mine being a manual car, yeah, that was a different price quoted compared to, well, yeah, compared to a main dealer to a specialist. I got it done at a specialist, the clutch done in a specialist up in Milton Keynes, and it was a better price. I paid just under £1,000, and I think VW were asking a little bit more than that. But when I got the thermostat housing done, I asked the main dealer, and they wanted, this was back, when did it go for me? A couple of years ago. I did a video on it. They wanted £2,500, the main dealer, and I was just like, I can't spend £2,500 on it. And I ended up getting it done by a specialist. I got it done by a specialist, SSC Performance in St Albans again, and they charged me at time £760. Yeah, don't quote me on that on today's prices, but, you know, 66% less than the main dealer. So obviously there's reasons to get it, to obviously you can maintain a main dealer history while still getting the benefits of a specialist and a little bit of extra work. And actually they were really nice because they tightened a few things up and they mentioned a few other things as well, which was kind of them. For me to suddenly say no more main dealer doesn't make any sense. You know, if I got an oil and filter service somewhere else, doesn't make any sense because they're still going to charge about the same. I checked on, just as an example, on this Chapman's site, it says oil and filter from £189, and that says from, so it doesn't mean that's what it's going to be. I've checked for my service, which is going to come up in September because it's every year in September. And the good thing about a main dealer, you just log on to Volkswagen.co.uk and you do your reg, do your mileage, and oil and filter was actually £210. Now, I remember back in 2018 when I had my first oil and filter service, I got it done up in Bedford because that's where I was living at the time. It was about £200. So actually, inflation-wise, after 9 years, I'll take that. It's really varied actually, really varied that. Sometimes it's like been 280, 290, sometimes it's been 200. So normally it's on the higher end. So in that case, I'm better off doing it at Volkswagen anyway, for the sake of 20, 30 quid. I mean, no, that's where it will go. The Haldex one, I think it is a little bit more. VW for where I'm based in Hertfordshire anyway, because it is going to be subjective to region, and it's at Citygate, Volkswagen St Albans. I'll be transparent about it. The Haldex was £158, so all in all you're looking at about £370 for my service. And there might potentially be more work that needs to be done, you just don't know, but at least it gives me an idea. And actually, because they do a full check, if there is stuff that needs doing, I could then sort of say, oh, well, actually, maybe this is where I can try out this Chapman's place or whatever, or, you know, see what there's different things to do. So I will be maintaining it. And it's also quite cool to, you know, it's very unique for a car to have a full main dealer history. And my sort of theories as well is, as much as I want independents to do well and specialists to do well, you don't know how long they're going to last. You know, some, you know, they might not last forever. Volkswagen, second biggest automotive manufacturer in the world, probably is going to stick around. And if it did go, well, there's a specialist around to help me, basically. So it's sort of like this car is just basically just going to last forever, which is just absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. So that's why I'm going to do it. It's also quite time saving as well for me to just go online, book it, forget about it, drop it off, pick it up. There's no real emotion in it. It's just get it done. And I actually quite like that because my time is really precious to me. And I can't be, you know, I talk to you guys about my car. I get enough of that sort of stuff. And that's it. And ultimately, completely down to earth to you guys, it's a car. It needs to function for me. That is the basics of what it does. It's a Volkswagen Golf. It needs to do what I need it to do when it's called upon. That's pretty much it. The fact that I've shared it with you and it's still here, it's not going anywhere. I love it. I love it. In fact, actually, yeah, I'll chat about something at the start of this. So I'm going to go back in time. So I want to talk to you a little bit about, well, I had a little check in. Actually, yeah, no, I'll chat to it about it now. I went to a Volkswagen main dealer. I went to Citygate, West London, because that's the biggest in the UK and apparently one of the best. And I went down there because I used to work down in Chiswick Business Park, so it was a bit round back in my corporate days. So it was a bit trip down memory lane a little bit. But I went into the store and they had an amazing GTI Edition 50 there with all this like violet, purple strobe lightings. I didn't do a little video, but I did take some pictures so you can see some of the pictures and I'll zoom in and out of the pictures so you can get a decent view of them. It looked cool. It was in Grenadilla black. Yeah, Varminal wheels, Acra, pan roof. It had the works. And it was sort of like centre stage actually in the corner of the dealership. The dealership was massive, absolutely massive. But the reason why I spoke about that, because I was like, oh, well, I'll take it to that dealer because it's the better dealer. It's perfect. Truth is, they're all just the same. They're all just going to do the same. They're both part of the City Group. So yeah, and also it's longer for me to travel into West London, much longer. But it was interesting. It was interesting just sort of checking it out, and just it gave me a lot of VW love sort of being in there. And that car did look sick. But I was checking out because there was a Dolphin Grey Golf R for sale, right? And I want to just clarify this. My car is probably worth somewhere privately, I don't know, 13 grand. Maybe, something like that. 65,000 miles, 3-door manual. I've owned it since new. It was an ex-demo, so it's one previous owner. The car that I was looking at was a 2025 Mark 8.5 Golf R in Dolphin Grey. Non-performance pack, but it had DCC, it had area view, it had pan roof, and then the option of Dolphin Grey. The car had 7,000 miles. The car was up for sale at £37,990, and I was like, that's pretty good. That's worth sort of seeing. So I went to the dealership to see it. And genuinely, I was like, oh, I could do a video on it, but actually, I could also trade my car in and give them 25 grand or whatever. And I'd have a car. I'd have the latest Golf R, and it was super cool. I mean, look, yeah, from the pictures anyway, it looked the nuts. And it's from a dealer as well. So you get your warranties, you're getting everything. That car was a December 2025 car, right? And we're in August now. So we are talking 8 months. If you spec that car with that spec today, so a Golf R, fair enough, maybe inflation's changed it, but today I spec'd it. A Golf R with Dolphin Grey as an option, dynamic chassis control, a panoramic roof, and area view, which are the exact options I would love. £51,000. £51,000. So that car is down about £13,000. Gone. That's basically in 9 months, that car has lost the entire value of what my current car is worth. And actually in 9 months, it's lost quite incredibly, actually, because it's lost the same, arguably even more than what my car has lost in 9 years. I bought this as an ex-demo for £24,950 with 1,500 miles. Yeah. It's scary. And that's not including the fact that a lot of people would finance it. So if you financed it, you'd then be paying the interest on the finance and the margin. And then if you went to sell it, you're then paying the dealer. You know, someone wants to make their money off the car for the sale. So I'm a big advocate for maintaining and having a car long term, and you can enjoy it. And, you know, I've enjoyed sharing it on the channel. I never expected all the opportunities that's come my way. I mean, I had an Audi SQ7 sitting here a couple of weeks ago, so it's like, that's great. But ultimately, the whole channel was started with me sort of sitting in the car chatting about it, which is what I'm doing now. However, I do completely, because I'm a car nut and I love to drive different cars, completely understand the temptation. And truth be told, if I didn't have the YouTube channel, I probably would do it. But I do, and I do have access to other cars. And also, 40 grand is a lot of money. Just over 10 grand in this is a lot more palatable for me. And it does mean that when I can pamper it a bit more, I could get it detailed, I can get the lights restored, I can do all these things, and it doesn't really bother me too much in terms of the financial side. Obviously, I want to keep my costs in check, but I'm not as concerned. Also, the tax, I think the tax is about 700 quid, because you on the new ones for 5 years, whereas I pay £200 tax on this. Long video, but hopefully it gives people an idea if they have a full main dealer history. Let me know if you do. Let me know what you do, because I'm curious. I'm always curious in the comments. What do you actually do? I do full main dealer, and then if something else needs to come up, I'll go to a specialist. I don't even mind going to like local quick fit if I want to get a wheel alignment or brake fluid and stuff. It's fine. But to have that stamp, I think it's cool. I think this car is cool. And yeah, I'm happy to be sitting in it still in 2026. And let me know your thoughts in the comments on, yeah, what do you think? Full main dealer history? Would you bother? Would you not? I have my reasons why I do it and why I'm still doing it today. My car is probably one of not that many, perhaps, which is an unmodified Golf R with full main dealer history. I'd like to find some others because I think it'd be cool. I know one person. Maybe I could know more. Thank you for watching, and I'm also curious about the discussion of that Temptation being a petrol head as well. That GTI Edition 50 I saw at West London Volkswagen was super cool. The new Golf Rs are super cool. Oh yeah, that Golf in grey Golf R, they didn't have it. It wasn't there at VW West London, and it sold a day after. I thought it was a good deal. 37.9 for a car like that. I think that is a good deal. So congrats to whoever got that. I hope you enjoyed this little video about my Golf R. And I really appreciated your comments on the previous video because it's, yeah, although it was a lot, so it's a lot to get through. So I'll take my time with it and I'll let you know how the service goes. That'll probably be the next update on this. And I've got press car next month. I've got the Skoda Fabia 130, which is 180 brake, which is quite cool. I'm looking forward to sharing that. And a few little trips here and there with stuff to share. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.